ladies and gentlemen, what a day this has been in Parliament. When the opposition is 237 strong in a House of 543, you of course expect fireworks. But you also hope that that's not all that you will get through the session. We want more than that. But today, there was much fire and fury as Rahul Gandhi stood up to make his debut speech as the leader of opposition. Now, it's for the first time in 10 years that India has an LOP. And Rahul used that opportunity to put the government on the mat on multiple issues, on NEET, on farmers, on Agniveers, on inflation, on Manipur as well. But the one statement that has caught fire is the one where he's saying that the BJP and the RSS and Prime Minister Modi are not the representatives of all Hindus and their ideology does not reflect the ethos of all Hindus. The BJP, as expected, has gone off on a tirade calling Rahul anti-Hindu. Listen in.
मोदी जी ने अपने भाषण में एक दिन कहा कि हिंदुस्तान ने किसी पर आक्रमण नहीं किया। उसका कारण है क्योंकि ये देश अहिंसा का देश है। ये देश डर का देश नहीं है। तो हमारे सारे के सारे महापुरुषों ने अहिंसा की बात की, डर मिटाने की बात की। डरो मत, डराओ मत। और जो लोग अपने आप को हिंदू कहते हैं वो 24 घंटा हिंसा हिंसा हिंसा, नफरत नफरत नफरत, असत्य सत्य असत्य। बीजेपी 24 घंटा नफरत हिंसा नफरत हिंसा नफरत हिंसा। स्पीकर सर, कहां तक इन्होंने डर फैला दिया है? आप बात समझिए, आप बात समझिए। ये इसलिए चिल्ला रहे हैं क्योंकि तीर जाके दिल में लगा है, दिल में जाके तीर लगा है, इसलिए ये चिल्ला रहे हैं। नहीं तो चुप हो गए। ये ठेका नहीं है बीजेपी का।
विषय बहुत गंभीर है। पूरे हिंदू समाज को हिंसक कहना ये गंभीर विषय है।
बीजेपी को आपको नहीं। नरेंद्र मोदी जी पूरा हिंदू समाज नहीं है, बीजेपी पूरा हिंदू समाज नहीं है, आरएसएस पूरा हिंदू समाज नहीं है। छोटे से घर में अग्निवीर शहीद हुआ, लैंडमाइन ब्लास्ट में शहीद हुआ। मैं उसे शहीद कह रहा हूं, मगर हिंदुस्तान की सरकार उसे शहीद नहीं कहती है। नरेंद्र मोदी उसे शहीद नहीं कहते हैं। नरेंद्र मोदी उसे अग्निवीर कहते हैं। उस घर को पेंशन नहीं मिलेगी, उस घर को कंपनसेशन नहीं मिलेगी, शहीद का दर्जा नहीं मिलेगा। और बेचारे बैठे हुए थे, 3 बहनें थी, एक साथ बैठी हुई थी, रो रही थी। आम जवान को पेंशन मिलेगी। जरूर दुख होगा, मगर हिंदुस्तान की सरकार आम जवान की मदद करेगी। मगर अग्निवीर को जवान नहीं कहा जा सकता। अग्निवीर यूज एंड थ्रो मजदूर है। और आप उससे कहते हो, उसको आप 6 महीने की ट्रेनिंग देते हो, 6 महीने की ट्रेनिंग देते हो। दूसरी तरफ चाइना के जवान को 5 साल की ट्रेनिंग मिलती है। राइफल लेकर उसके सामने खड़ा कर देते हो, उसके दिल में भय पैदा करते हो। एक जवान और दूसरे जवान के बीच में फूट डालते हो कि एक को पेंशन मिलेगी, एक को शहीद का दर्जा मिलेगा, दूसरे को नहीं मिलेगा। और फिर अपने आप को देशभक्त कहते हो। ये कैसे देशभक्त हैं?
अध्यक्ष महोदय, एक आदमी सब पर भारी। अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं नेता प्रतिपक्ष से अनुरोध करना चाहूंगा, गलत बयानी करके सदन को गुमराह करने की कोशिश
गलत नहीं है सर, गलत नहीं है सर,
कर देना चाहता हूं कि युद्ध के दौरान अथवा सीमाओं की सुरक्षा के दौरान यदि हमारा कोई अग्निवीर का जवान शहीद होता है तो उसके 1 करोड़ रुपए की धनराशि सहायता के रूप में उसके परिवार को मुहैया कराई जाती है। इस प्रकार की गलत बयानी से सभी को गुमराह करने की कोशिश नहीं की जानी चाहिए संसद में।
Because sir, NEET students spend years and years preparing for their exam. Their family supports them financially, emotionally. And the truth is that NEET students today do not believe in the exam. Because they are convinced that the exam is designed for rich people, not meritorious people. I have met a number of NEET students, every single one of them tells me that the exam is designed to create a quota for rich people and to create a passage for them into the system, and is designed not to help poor students. मणिपुर को आपने सिविल वॉर में डुबा दिया है। मणिपुर को आपने और आपकी योजनाओं ने, आपकी पॉलिटिक्स ने जला दिया है। और आज तक हिंदुस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री मणिपुर नहीं गए हैं। ऐसा लगता है कि मणिपुर हिंदुस्तान का प्रदेश नहीं है। प्रधानमंत्री के लिए मणिपुर स्टेट ही नहीं है। मणिपुर में सिविल वॉर हो ही नहीं रही है। और एक बार बयान दिया, हमने मतलब प्रेशर लगाया, हम गए, हमने प्रधानमंत्री से कहा एक मैसेज दे दीजिए, मणिपुर चले जाइए, जनता की वहां रक्षा कीजिए। नहीं सर, नमस्कार। अयोध्या ने आपको मैसेज भेजा, अयोध्या ने, राम भगवान, अयोध्या ने मैसेज दिया। और मैंने इनसे पूछा कि हुआ क्या, और इनका जवाब आया। मैंने उनसे पूछा कि आपको कब पता लगा कि आप अयोध्या में जीत रहे हो, और आपने कहा पहले दिन से मुझे पता था। सही बात। और मैंने कहा ये क्या हुआ। उन्होंने कहा राहुल जी, अयोध्या में एयरपोर्ट बना, अयोध्या की जनता से जमीन छीनी गई, और आज तक उन्हें मुआवजा नहीं मिला है। और फिर अयोध्या के गरीब लोगों को, किसानों को, मजदूरों को मंदिर के इनॉग्रेशन तक नहीं जाने दिया। मंदिर के इनॉग्रेशन छोड़ो, उसके बाहर भी नहीं जाने दिया। और इसीलिए अयोध्या की जनता ने सही मैसेज भेजा। अच्छा, इन्होंने मुझे एक और बात बोली, 3 बार इन्होंने कहा कि 3 बार नरेंद्र मोदी ने टेस्ट किया। 2 बार क्या मैं अयोध्या से लड़ जाऊं? और सर्वेयर्स ने कहा अयोध्या में मत लड़ जाना। आप बात नहीं करते, आप गले नहीं लगते, आप उन्हें आतंकवादी कहते हो। आप कहते हो ये सब आतंकवादी हैं। झूठ नहीं है, झूठ नहीं है, सच है, सच है।
मान्यवर, मैं समझ रहा हूं कि विपक्ष के नेता है नाते पहली बार बोल रहे हैं, मगर नियमों के पुस्तक के बाहर वो नहीं जा सकते। ये स्टेटमेंट करे कि हम कहते हैं कि किसान आतंकवादी है, तो कैसे सदन में चल सकता है? मान्यवर, आप एक तरफा नियमों के ऊपर जाकर उनको रियायत दे रहे हो। मान्यवर, हमें संरक्षित करिए, ऐसे नहीं चलता है।
Now, let's admit it, Rahul Gandhi's first speech as LOP did create impact and debate. Now, when you have 237 MPs backing you, it shows, in the confidence at least. Now, the Prime Minister, seated in Parliament when Rahul Gandhi made his 100-minute speech, didn't look particularly happy. At one point, he said, it is the constitution and parliamentary tradition that is forcing him to listen to Rahul. Listen in.
लोकतंत्र ने और संविधान ने मुझे सिखाया है कि मुझे विपक्ष के नेता को गंभीरता से लेना चाहिए।
The Prime Minister, of course, will now be responding to all that Rahul Gandhi said tomorrow. So it should be an interesting day in Parliament tomorrow as well. My guest this evening, Jasmine Sandwalia, is spokesperson of the BJP, joining us on the broadcast. Sujata Pandey is a political analyst with us. Advocate Kapil Madan is a political analyst with us. And Salman Soz is spokesperson of the Congress party with us as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I've kept you waiting for 4 minutes. I apologize. But the speech was 100 minutes. And we thought it's best if we make our viewers listen to what exactly Rahul Gandhi had said before debating the matter. Jasmine, our viewers have heard about 10 minutes of the 100-minute speech. Please help me understand why the BJP is saying he needs to apologize. He doesn't need to apologize. He hasn't said anything that was out of line or incorrect or defamatory.
Well, I would say I would totally agree with my party that he needs to apologize, because to make a debate and to build up a story that the BJP is the big boogie which has been ruining democracy and which has created anarchy in the country in the last 10 years, I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi is certainly suffering from amnesia, because he should also recall that the Blue Star, when it happened under Indira Gandhi, and the kind of genocide which happened in Delhi was also very deplorable, and it is still one of the big stigmas on the nation today. And for him to repeatedly say that, and he did show Guru Nanak Dev Ji's picture, which is very commendable. He went ahead and showed Shivaji's, Lord Shiva's picture. And he also created an analogy that he is going to be two people. And since he is the leader of the opposition, he has to be the do-gooder. And I do want to remind him that Lord Shiva was the creator and he was the do-gooder, and he was one Lord and one God who drank all the poison so that humanity could survive. And I wish Mr. Rahul Gandhi the very best as leader of the opposition to understand and comprehend and do practice what he is saying today.
All
and
that is very well, Jasmine ji. I have asked you a simple question. Why should he apologize? Why should he apologize? राहुल गांधी की अभय मुद्रा से बीजेपी को इतना भय क्यों लग रहा है भाई? Has he said anything that is defamatory, factually incorrect, that he needs to apologize?
No, Shreya, it is like building a story that here is somebody who is a big boogie of democracy, and here I am the Misa of democracy. He also needs to remember that what his party has been doing, and Congress, fortunately or unfortunately, did ruin the country for a very long time. And I can count the kind of things which the Congress regime did and how many times they killed democracy. It was during his grandmother's tenure that emergency was imposed. So he should not project himself as Misa of democracy. That is what I'm saying. And he has every right to make his speech, but he also needs to remember what he is saying.
Well, thank you, Shreya.
Salman Soz,
I think you asked a very simple question. I think the BJP spokesperson, obviously, because there is nothing to say, will talk about things from 50, 40 years back. Maybe, I mean, I'm surprised that the BJP spokesperson did not talk about Pandit Nehru, because that is the favorite talking point for the BJP. As far as Rahulji's his speech is concerned, I think it was a very it's the kind of speech that that showed basically, you speak truth to power. we are speaking truth to the BJP, to the Prime Minister. I think we are doing it on behalf of the people of the country. They sent us there for a job. Our job is to make sure that the people's voices are heard, that their issues are raised. Now, when you think about the kinds of issues Rahulji raised, what did he talk about? He talked about how in India we've had a very divisive culture that has been propagated by the RSS and the BJP. Everybody knows about it. And the Prime Minister, unfortunately, the Prime Minister, I mean, no less than the Prime Minister, during election rallies, one election rally after another, used extremely hateful language against Indian citizens, right? So when Rahulji talks about Agniveer, that an Agniveer who loses his life for the country is not treated at par with other soldiers. What is wrong with that? Please tell me. Is
No,
that
so-
not something that he should be raising?
Absolutely nothing
When he
wrong.
talks
So
about-
Salman
when he
Sozi, here's
talks
my
about-
question.
Yes.
Absolutely, he should be. Salman Sozi, give me a minute here. Let me ask you a counter question. Look, there is no issue with Rahul Gandhi raising issues that matter to the people of this country, right? Whether it's NEET, whether it's Agniveer, whether it's farmers, whether it's Manipur, whether it's inflation. Given, as the leader of opposition, it's his right, it's his absolute right, in fact, his duty to be bringing the issues of the people of this country to Parliament. I give you that. But where was the need for this? Where was the need for bringing out pictures of Lord Shiva, bringing out pictures of Guru Nanak, bringing out pictures of Lord Jesus, and then giving, this religious tadka to this entire 100-minute speech? Uski zarbat kya thi?
No, नहीं ये तो बहुत this is a very good question. ज़रूरत है. The country needs healing. The country, Rahulji's message to the country is that no matter what religion you belong to, we're all in this together. Because all religions preach peace. We want to live together because we have so many issues that this country faces. If we are united, if we are together, we'll be able to deal with them. But if we're not together, if we are divided along religious lines, as the BJP and the RSS have been trying to do, then we're going to fail, and we cannot afford to fail. We have great challenges in front of this country, from young people not having jobs, not having livelihoods, not having a future, from farmers to women. There's so many issues in the country. How can we fight these issues, deal with these issues if we're not together? I think that is a beautiful message of the
Okay.
Congress Party's leader, the leader of the opposition today.
Okay, Sujata Pandey just come in here. Look, clearly the 100-minute speech was designed to create fire, to create fury, and to create headlines as well. And I think if those are the parameters on which we need to mark this speech, then I would say Rahul Gandhi has scored an 8 out of 10. How do we assess and analyze, according to you, the BJP's response to it? So you have the Prime Minister standing up and countering Rahul Gandhi. Then at least twice you had the Home Minister stand up. Once you had the country's Defense Minister stand up and counter Rahul Gandhi as well. As soon as Parliament session ended, you had the BJP field 3 ministers to counter Rahul Gandhi. How do we read it? Do we say, जैसे हिंदी channels में बोलते हैं कि छटपटा गया BJP?
Good evening, Shreya, and good evening to all my fellow panelists. So first of all, let's just answer your first part of the question. Why did BJP or any leader object to what Rahul Gandhi was saying? On two accounts, Shreya. First, like you already mentioned, that there was no need to bring this religious, connotations in between, showing Lord Shiva and saying that Hindu hinsak hai, because that's like making a sweeping statement, which is definitely unpardonable, which is unacceptable. Though he was making a reference to the BJP, but he definitely missed few words.
He
At
didn't
least
say
as
Hindu
a LOP,
hinsak hai.
I expect him.
Sujata ji. Sujata ji.
Yes, Shreya.
Sujata ji, it's the BJP's job to spin. It is not Mira Nav's job to spin, which is why we have put the entire statement
absolutely.
out.
So why
He
don't
didn't
you
say
put the
Hindu
clip?
hinsak hai. He didn't say Hindu hinsak hai.
जो लोग हिंदू कहते
अरे
हैं
मैडम पूरा दिखा दिया आपके आने से पहले.
तो फिर एक बार फिर से देख लिया श्रेया, because sometimes we have this myopic view of seeing things in a certain perspective. Secondly, Rahul Gandhi everybody should object, including you, because as a LOP, as a post which is statutory, he was spreading lies. because it is a rule of the parliament that any member who is giving certain statements, he has to also substantiate it with the facts. The first was the mic being switched off, which is definitely with the speaker corrected. He got fact checked on Agniveer because he was saying compensation ही नहीं मिला है, सरकार उनको शहीद मानती ही नहीं है. Where there is a full record of how the compensation of 1 crore to Agniveer was given. His last rite was performed with a full, military honor and whatever needs to be done, it was done. Then MSP, he said MSP mili nahi rahi hai kisanon ko, where he got again fact checked by the Agriculture Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan. He got fact checked on the compensation thing on the Ayodhya also. So as a LOP, you expect a different Rahul Gandhi. You don't expect the old Rahul Gandhi who spread lies on Rafale, who spoke blatant lies on Pegasus, who had to say sorry in the Supreme Court on Chaukidar Chor hai. I mean, I expected that this time, with the increased strength of the opposition, he would have used this platform better. He would have probably, as a citizen, keep the politics aside. I expected opposition to question government on the need. Ask that how could we stop it? Come up with a better suggestions. But what did we see, Shreya? We saw the same electoral rhetoric. बीजेपी ने ये किया, बीजेपी ने वो किया, ये हिंदू हैं, ये हिंसक हैं, ये all of that. That is not an LOP's job, and that's the reason why BJP is saying he must apologize. If you are not standing, that is your thing. But as a Hindu, if I was there, I would have stood, I would have interrupted, I would have said the same things that my Prime Minister said. And I think most of the Hindus have agreed to it.
ठीक है, वो बिल्कुल ठीक है. Well, you are not most of the Hindus, and I'm not most of the Hindus, and the Prime Minister is not most of the Hindus, and the BJP is not most of the Hindus, and RSS is not most of the Hindus.
So who is
All Hindus have a mind of their own, and no single party or organization represents them, है ना?
No, so nobody gives a certificate also. Nobody gives a certificate also, We should mind our own
Kapil Madan can come in here and respond to you.
If we say religious is a
Kapil
personal
Madan,
thing,
come in here.
Is a personal thing, then you should not be giving certificates, and certainly not Rahul Gandhi.
Now, Shreya, let me expose the inherent contradiction in my good friend's opening remark. If you look at the entire statement made by Mr. Gandhi, what did he refer to? He referred to a concept that what Lord Shiva teaches us is remaining fearless. What other religious gods teaches us is truth, side with the truth, and non-violence. So these are the basic three parameters on which he was making his remark, and he was saying that there are some people who don't follow these values and still call themselves Hindu. And now, if BJP is rattled, is rattled with what? BJP is not saying no. We are also supporting the idea of ahimsa. We are also supporting the idea of remaining fearlessness, and we are also supporting the idea that we should be citing by the truth. No, they don't say that. I mean, there is an inherent contradiction here. The proof of pudding is in the eating. The fact that you don't believe in these ideas, that's the reason why you are being. Jasmine, I never interrupted you. Please do not interrupt. I gave you full space to speak. Now the fact is, if you are
Kapil, quickly make your point, because after that Sujata ji has said, जरा rewind करके दोबारा सुनवा दीजिए क्या बोला था. So I'm going to do exactly that at Sujata ji's request, but complete your point.
Please.
Yes, आप दोबारा सुनवा दीजिए. Basically, he was referring to these three values. And if any particular religion, and he has spoke about different religions in his remark. He's not only talked about Hindus. What he said was there are people who don't believe in these values but still call themselves Hindu. They don't represent Hindus. That's what he was trying to make a point.
Okay. For the benefit of our viewers and for Sujata ji as well, at her request, let's just quickly play out what Rahul Gandhi said when he was putting out these pictures of Guru Nanak and Lord Shiva. Did he actually say Hindu hinsak hai? Listen to it for yourself.
भाषण में एक दिन कहा कि हिंदुस्तान ने किसी पर आक्रमण नहीं किया. उसका कारण है क्योंकि ये देश अहिंसा का देश है, ये देश डर का देश नहीं है। तो हमारे सारे के सारे महापुरुषों ने अहिंसा की बात की, डर मिटाने की बात की। डरो मत, डराओ मत। और जो लोग अपने आप को हिंदू कहते हैं वो 24 घंटा हिंसा हिंसा हिंसा, नफरत नफरत नफरत, असत्य सत्य असत्य। बीजेपी 24 घंटा नफरत हिंसा, नफरत हिंसा, नफरत हिंसा। स्पीकर सर, कहां कहां तक इन्होंने डर फैला दिया है? आप बात समझिए, आप बात समझिए। ये इसलिए चिल्ला रहे हैं क्योंकि तीर जाके दिल में लगा है, दिल में जाके तीर लगा है, इसलिए ये चिल्ला रहे हैं। नहीं तो चुप हो गए। ये ठेका नहीं है बीजेपी का।
Sujata ji, there you go. Since you had asked me to play the soundbite, I've played it. So fact check किसको करना है? The BJP is fact checking the Congress, but here the Congress will now fact check you as they are doing it on this show. To say कहाँ बोला था भाई?
Yeah, really? I mean, did he not say that जो अपने को हिंदू हिंदू कहते रहते हैं वो हिंसा 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 असत्य असत्य असत्य? Do you really want to get to the whole length to justify Rahul Gandhi's comment? Let me tell you, Shreya, you know, if you really look at from the,
I don't have to.
Keeping the political ideologies aside, you know, I'm saying keeping the, as I'm talking on my behalf, you know, just you see, the parliament has become a battle of egos. You know, as a citizen of this country, what would you like to see? A more constructive discussion, suggestions from LOP. You know, not just old mudslinging way of the elections are over, Shreya. We are done with it. You know, the results are here. The opposition is here. You were just giving me gyan about not interfering kindly. So, you know, it was expected from the LOP to discuss on matters that they were raising outside parliament. But somehow Rahul Gandhi has this favorite subject of talking something atrocious about Hindu. It is not the first time. He has a history. He spoke about Shakti. You know, Shakti se hame ladna hai. He is the same person who said कि जो मंदिर जाते हैं वही आपकी लड़कियों को छेड़ते हैं. Is it not the Congress party who released a book on the Hindu Atankwad with absolutely zero proof? And is it not the India Alliance which said Sanatan को समूल नाश करने के लिए ये India Alliance बना है? Is it not Kharge ji's remarks it said that BJP को रोकना होगा नहीं तो सनातन का राज आ जाएगा? Am I making it up? Put it for your viewers. Rahul Gandhi has a history of giving sweeping statements on Hindus because Hindu is not violent. Had it
Salman Soz can respond.
Real respect for Rahul Gandhi. Today he would have spoken about what's happening in West Bengal. You know, the Taliban rule that has been imposed in West Bengal. The TMC leader justifying it.
That's our next debate, by the way.
As a Muslim Rashtra. You know, I expect, as a woman,
that's our next debate.
To condemn that. Not do this mudslinging, you know. So it was not needed. What
okay.
Congress
As a woman, I thought you would also bring up Manipur, which you didn't. Anyhow, Salman Soz, respond to what Sujata ji is saying.
Opposition walked out.
You know, first of all, Sujata ji seems to portray herself as a political analyst. If you look at her timeline on social media, she's basically speaking like a BJP person, which is okay. She can speak like a BJP person, but we should identify her as such, being a BJP supporter. But the question is the following. Rahul Gandhi's words are that Hindu hinsak nahi. Hindus are not violent. He talks about the RSS and the BJP as claiming to be Hindus, but they're not really Hindus because they are violent people. They are divisive people. They speak ill about other communities. That is the RSS and the BJP. That is what Rahul ji is saying. And I can understand the frustration in the BJP ecosystem of which Sujata Pandey seems to be a part. They are frustrated because they got a big shock in this election. They cannot get their heads around this idea that the Prime Minister himself, who was supposed to win by 10 lakh votes in Varanasi, who had won by more than 6.5 lakh votes 2019, won by a smaller margin than our Congress Party leader Kishori Lal Sharma in Amethi. BJP people cannot understand what happened in this election. They're frustrated.
Okay.
But the point is that whether I'm so happy that today our leader basically spoke truth to power. And basically the power is diminished. These people are now on the decline. And that is what is really frustrating them. Now, by the way, she talked about,
Salman Soz, this is what I'll say.
BJP spokesperson, as a BJP spokesperson, she talked about the defense minister's intervention. By the way, it was very amusing to me to see the prime minister get up a couple of times. I think Amit Shah got up 3 or 4 times. The defense minister got up, and that is fact checking. Let me tell you about his fact check. He said, "Humne Agniveer ko compensation de diya." But we're not talking about just compensation. We're talking about equality of all Jawans, including those who are
and pensions.
Agniveer. It is not that you just give them compensation. You treat them
here's the thing.
Fully. That is what we want for these young people. We want to give them hope.
Okay.
You are taking hope away from young people of this
tomorrow. Okay, we'll just leave this debate here because this debate actually doesn't end here. This debate ends only tomorrow once the Prime Minister speaks in Parliament as well. And the BJP and the Congress can keep fact-checking each other till tomorrow. I just hope as a citizen, a tax-paying citizen of India, that, elections are over. We can all dial down the rhetoric in Parliament and let our parliamentarians get down to business. We leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much, Jasmine, for joining us. Sujata Pandey, thank you very much. Advocate Kapil Mandan, thank you very much. And Salman Soz, thank you very much for your time as well.